Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Pretty straightforward today. Let's talk about the best basketball shoes from Nike as of now. I'll try to rank them in order, like I did write down my top 5, but basically top 10 too. Objectively speaking, Nike is still the go-to brand for many of us. Whether you love or hate the swoosh, they do offer a great variety of products. Team models, signature shoes, and budget ones at different prices. So just to clarify, this list is about the newer releases from the past year, or they're still currently available for you to get. Actually, not just available. I've seen each and every one of them going on sale, some pretty good prices. It is discount season for hoop shoes. I didn't include Jordan brand here this time. Well, they've had a bad year in my opinion. The only one that could make it is the Jordan 38, but it does have serious issues with its durability. Regarding Kobe's and the Pro Trolls, as a diehard Kobe fan, why are they not on here for me? Are they currently available, right? Can we easily get a pair? I'm not paying resale, not really. But if you're interested in seeing like an all-time list, please let me know in the comments. Also, at any time during the video, feel free to share what you think is the best Nike shoe right now. Okay, starting off the list, before we get into the top 5, I think I'll go through the next 5 I had. So basically 2 tiers, I guess. The popular ones, for the younger hoopers especially. LeBron Next Gen, solid all-around shoe that gives you a little bit of everything, but it's a little bit of everything, not a lot of everything. Very lightweight and breathable, some nasty sales going on. If you like more of an old school version of the shoe, on the Next Gen end, you can either get a full leather upper or some shiny patent leather. Great quality. It only sacrifices a tiny bit of weight and ventilation. Sabrina 1 capped off at this tier because of the fit. They are quite narrow and not good for high volume feet. A lot of wide footers might not even find a size that works, but it is quite Kobe-like. React feels great on feet. Look good, play good. If you were to Nike ID your pair, I'd recommend not getting the translucent outsole. GT Jump 2. Just cushion alone, it already beats the 2 that I just talked about by far. The combo of double stack Zoom Air and a deluxe version of Nike React in the heel sounds like a burger. That says everything about its upsides. Cushion and maximum bounciness. Traction is just alright. It is a very typical shoe for bigs, in my opinion. So might be picky when it comes to your playing style and body weight. That's why I didn't have it in my top 5. But for a big who likes to dominate the paint, I can see this being the number 1 possibly. Zoom Freak 5, or is it just called the Freak 5 now? Really improved for me over time, but the materials are meh. It feels quite long on feet. Even if the fit is secure enough and the shoe itself is light enough, I still didn't feel like this shoe gave me really good speed and agility. Maybe that's why I didn't see the Freak 5s as much yet on the court. Like the Zoom Freak line has always been super popular, I feel like. Aside from the KDs and Kyrie's in the past, obviously. But anyways, the Freak 5 is nice. It has no significant downside based on my experience. And a very recent release that I almost put in the top 5 is the Book 1. Very comfortable. Materials are buttery smooth. Traction was surprisingly good. The translucent also grips just fine on a dusty court. The toe box feels a little bit short and tight, and breathability is slightly below average. So those are the 2 factors to keep in mind, but it was a fantastic experience playing in them for me. If Rasheed Wallace had a shoe in the modern era of performance models, that's what you can expect. Alright, so here's my top 5. At number 5, this shoe is cheaper than any of those 5 that I just mentioned. Later on, you might be able to see some good deals, so even better. And that is the GT Cut Academy. Now, I know it's pretty wild for a budget shoe to make it this high, but if you have a budget constraint, I don't see why getting this one pair for 95 bucks isn't enough. You know, the most important advantage of the GT Cut Academy is the traction performance. I mean, that was the most grippy, squeaky, and consistent type of stop that I got on the very dusty court that I usually play at. Clean courts, of course, there's no problems. For a budget shoe, the renewed cushion and material comfort are both decent. Nothing premium, obviously, but it just gets the job done. A lot of other shoes at this price range can turn out really cheap, plasticky, or flimsy in hand. The GT Cut Academy's upper holds up really well and is also super light, by the way. Moving on to number 4, so here I was really going back and forth between 3 and 4. But at this spot, I decided to put the GT Cut 3. Compared to number 5, it is better than its own budget version. I mean, Zoom X did not disappoint for me. It was really responsive, feels nice and soft too, and still allows you to get a smooth transition. Traction works very well, but it does pick up more dust than the Academy. That makes me wonder if they'll ever do a solid rubber also version of the GT Cut 3. Maybe that'll bring the performance up to another level, but this traction is good enough. The materials are obviously more plush. They remain to be very lightweight and breathable, but again, the retail price is exactly double the GT Cut Academy. So between 4 and 5, the big brother does have better performance overall, but it also comes down to your budget or how much you're willing to pay. I think the GT Cut 3 will eventually go on sale sooner or later. Compared to number 3, I think the lockdown really could have been better. And that brings us to number 3, the KD16. I mean, you can say that the KD line has been the most consistent line from Nike. The KD Tre 5 line has been consistently solid too. I wonder if they'll continue his budget line. I certainly hope so, because it's been almost 2 years since the KD Tre 510 release. Anyways, back to the KD16. This is a very versatile shoe that can work for almost all different types of players. For heavier guys, the lockdown is there. The upper contains your feet in a very secure way to hold up against different types of movements. For faster players and guards, the KD16 is right about average weight, not too heavy. I always say you get a quick snap off of the forefoot, so playing in it feels really clean and crisp. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't give you anything extra that you don't need, but in all the major aspects, it's up to the sender for sure. I'm starting to see some great deals on it too. We only have 2 more to go. Number 2 might cause some controversy here because a lot of people are worried about the lateral stability, I know, and also just the lack of a midfoot plate. I have 2 pairs of these, never had any problems in that regard. You can bend it all the way or fold it in half, but torsional support is actually sufficient. I don't think that makes you more injury prone or anything. The GT Hustle 2 also all on sale. You can consider it the Victor Wembanyama shoe. They're surprisingly light and super comfortable. Also, since we're ranking Nike shoes, it's so rare to have a Nike shoe that fits well for wider feet. Also, it's kind of weird. Like, they put some herringbone pattern inside the pods, but it does work, just pretty much no squeak. Materials conform to your movements very nicely. Smooth ride, with full length zoom strobo, the midsole gives you a great feedback underneath. Full length zoom strobo is key here. Without this setup, it can turn into either a completely flat or bottom heavy shoe. But the GT Hustle 2, I like the way it is. It's not cheap, but I was genuinely impressed. Nike's best performer at this moment has a ton of variations depending on the colorway, so it's pretty annoying, but it is a complete package. The LeBron 21. I think the best deal I've seen on these is like close to half price, about 40% off on the Akoya colorway. But I'm sure later on, you know how it goes. Cushion is probably its highlight. They'll never put something bad on the LeBrons. Very bouncy, impact protection is great, and stability in the heel is an improvement from the LeBron 20. Traction is really, really good from my experience. Translucent also on the black Tahitian colorway actually stopped better than solid rubber on the Dragon Pearl colorway. Some of these materials can be pretty hard to maintain or clean, so that's something to be aware of. But what's a shoe that never creases over time, right? After trying on the All-Star pair, oh man, that one feels even better. It's very light and the materials are better suited for most people compared to hairy suede or patent leather. Yeah, the LeBrons are still their most premium model. I think it's safe to say that it is indeed Nike's flagship basketball shoe. I know with every ranking comes disagreement. We all have an opinion on everything, but if I was to rank all these Nike shoes, that's how I would put it. Also, if you lower the price point, they do make a lot of great budget shoes too. If you go back earlier in time, each year they must have at least 1 or 2 excellent performers in the top 10. So that's it for my ranking of the best Nike basketball shoes. Honestly, this year's Nike shoes are very evenly spread out performance-wise. It was really hard to find a clear-cut winner. Like, a lot of these in a head-to-head comparison can be super close. So it just comes down to your preference really at the end of the day. But the LeBrons are still the shit GT Hustle 2, I love that shoe. KDs, you can't really go wrong with it, regardless of your position and playing style. And the 2 GT cuts round off my top 5. Again, a ton of these are on sale as we speak. So you can head out to your local retailer stores, Nike factory stores, and clearance stores. Have fun shopping. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you soon on the next one.